put the connection, and there are many softwares and applications which are available online. You can use them. So first thing what you have to do is a lesson plan. Your topic which you're going to cover should be properly analyzed, and a short content should be made so that the students can understand that maximum, and the outcome of the learning of this particular topic which you're going to cover, it should be decided properly. So plan your online class in advance. The class you're going to take is not going to be a real time, so you have to do more, you have to be more concise in delivering the material as far as possible. Limit your time, don't extend your time. The time should be very limited. So within 30 seconds, students will not be it should be within 30 minutes. Students will not be interested for more hours, so limit it to 20 to 30 minutes. Next is first of all, the thing which you have to see is the angle of the camera. Most people will simply put camera on the table and start recording. However, this tend to leave you with an upward angle that is not likely to show off your best features. Try raising your laptop by keeping some books under beneath and raising your camera up to your high level. If you are using a phone, then the same principle apply. See that the phone is fixed so that it doesn't move and wobble as you are teaching. Next is setting up of a lighting. You don't need a big fancy lights to make yourself look good in camera, but you do need to take light into consideration. The cheapest and easiest source is natural sunlight. Filming by a window gives you all the natural light needed to make you look good. However, try to make sure that you're facing the window as much as possible so that the light falls on your face. If you're filming the window behind you, you're likely to look angelic and students won't be able to see you. So use a soft light. Don't use harsh light, and same time don't use both artificial light and a natural light. It won't look good. Whenever there's a natural light, directly use the natural light. Next, regarding the background is also usually important. You don't need to make you place yourself in a super fancy background. See that nobody wants to see your family photo, and try to pick up a spot that is plain and tidy so that the students can focus on you and not what is going behind you. So as far as possible, choose a plain background. Keep yourself some distance from the background. Frame yourself tight in the screen, avoiding the background. Next is a sound setup. Try to include a mic. Luckily, your phone as well as the laptop nowadays have a relatively good mic, so there is no need for extra mic. Sound effects make scenario and simulations even more better and it makes you like a realistic classes. So there are more free sound effects available online. You have to attribute them. Try and limit background noises by closing the window, turn off the air conditioners and fans, and ask any roommates or family members to be quiet. Next is regarding your presentation. As far as possible, go for a multimodal presentation. Your presentation should keep them engaged. You can grab their attention. You should be well dressed yourself to appear in the video. Just using a PowerPoint is of no use. If you are using a PowerPoint, use it differently. Use visual, audio, and many other things to keep it multimodal. So you can include a ebook, you can include a video, you can include a mind mapping, you can include animations, you can use it with gamifications, and you can use sound effects. So your presentation should be a multimodal presentation. So whenever preparing a video, start with motivation. For the first few minutes, it is very critical with your students. The first few minutes, the student decides about the next 30 minutes they are going to spend with you or not. If you have seen the movies, you might have seen that first few minutes will be some sort of suspense or thriller. So with that thriller and suspense, they try to retain you for the next 3 hours. So as far as possible, the first few minutes, you have to see that their attention is grabbed. Next, incorporate regular free play. For 15 minutes for every 60 minutes class, there should be some engagement, some sort of games. Don't try to teach. Even a presentation will be shorter. It will be around 20 to 30 minutes. Rest, it will be conversational. You can Google it. You will get lots of ideas to gamify your class. Next is target the students. If your material is too hard, attention will wander. If your material is too easy, attention will wander. Shooting the right in the middle. You have to design the material in the middle, not to be hard and not to be too easy. While designing, you have to keep in mind the targeted students. Make them laugh. Here I cannot include some humor, since this is the first time I am here in HiCAS for an conference. So there are many senior faculties are there. So in a forum with the students, you have to add some humor, make them to laugh, incorporate some kind of jokes in between and make them ease. Next is incorporating the unexpected for every 15 minutes. So shake things every 15 minutes. Every 15 minutes, different diversions. Quote some examples from the real life. Pull someone from the forum of groups and talk something on the subject with them. Keep them engaged. Next, make ideas concrete and relevant. Bring your ideas down to earth. So when Steve Jobs developed the smartphone, he took his entire team with step-by-step process. During the development, he used to say that the interface should be so simple that you should not scratch your heads to know how to use it. That is why iPhone is so successful nowadays. Many who have used are not ready to change to other smartphones. So keep your material concrete and relevant. So these are the ideas for you to develop an online class as well as e-content. While you're developing your e-content and online class, keep them in mind. So next is about an OBS studio. Here you can find it is free of you can install it free. There is nothing to pay for this. You can Google it, OBS Studio, and it will take you to this page, OBS Studio. So depending on your requirement, whether it is for Windows or for Mac or for Linux, you can download it. Once you download, you can create videos using this. Is it visible?
Visible, sir.
Okay.
It is visible, sir.
Once you have downloaded it, and you will get a window like this. In this window, you will have sources. So this is the source in which you are going to develop your video. So you can find this plus symbol here. Click that plus symbol. So if you're going to use the browser as your display, you can click this browser. So if you're going to use this video capture device, you can click this video capture device. So if you click your video capture device, it will ask what is the source from which default it will be available. You can click it OK. So this will appear there. So if you're going to teach a class and you are going to record it, you can use this video capture. So here you have to click start recording for this. So you can see that here there is start recording. You have to click start recording for this. So if you want to use it with presentation, then you
Sir,
can go
excuse me, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, excuse me, sir. Your voice is breaking, sir.
Ma'am, now is it audible?
Yes, sir. It's very clear, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Sorry for the interruption,
Okay.
sir.
So if you want to use it with presentation, you can go for display capture, and in display capture you can use your presentation also. And for example, if you want to use it with a static image, you can click the static image and you can browse it which image you want to use. For example, if I'm going to use this image, I'll put it. You can drag your video and you can resize it. So now you can have a background image behind and your video in front, and you can start recording, explaining it. Even for PowerPoint presentations, you can keep your video in front and presentations will be behind. So you can start recording here. Once the recording is over, you can go to file, and in file you will find show recording. So then you can take your recording and you can edit it by going to some editing softwares which is available online. So once you click start recording, it will start recording. The same icon, you can use it for stop recording also. So free of cost, you can use Windows Movie Maker, and you can use that. You can edit your video. You can trim the video which is not necessary, and you can have only the video which is necessary. So after this is regarding the copyrights. So if this symbol appears copyrights, you cannot use those videos. Those videos cannot be copied without the permission of the creator. And then extreme opposite is public domain. If you see this symbol, so that is fully copy. You can copy it. There is no need for permission from the creator. It is free for use. That is public domain. So in between these two, we have Creative Commons. So CC. Whenever Creative Commons is there, you can use it by giving an attribute to them. You can use it by giving an attribute to them. So that is what we call it as CC. So when you are you can see there are many videos in YouTube. When you get into YouTube, there are two types of license. One is which is automatically given by the YouTube. That is the copyrights is with the YouTube. The other is CC, Creative Commons. You can use those Creative Commons videos. You cannot use other videos with the permission without the permission of YouTube. So here are some of the other websites which you can use. So this is screencastify.com. So this website is mainly for developing videos. As I told you about OBS. OBS, it is free. You can develop a long video. But in screencastify.com, no need to install it. You can use your Google ID itself. But here you can record it only for 5 minutes. You cannot use it for more than 5 minutes. After that, you can load it in YouTube. Second is a Jamboard. So most of us, you practice to use blackboards. So in online, it is not possible for us to use blackboards. So here we have Jamboard. So using this Jamboard, it is a whiteboard. You can record it and you can post it in YouTube. And another one is Sideboard. Just like Jamboard, it is Sideboard. Here the number of boards is restricted to 3 boards. Jamboard is of Google's. Sideboard, here there is a restriction, but the board will look big. And in this board, you can also use PDF. Whereas in Jamboard, you cannot use PDF. This is Flipgrid. It allows you to post questions, videos, and images to your students. They have to respond through short video clip. The website is highly engaging for students. They feel connected while they are not able to see physically. Next is Socrative.com. In this, you can create quiz and you can assign the quiz to the students. You can also see the answers given by the students. It can be used for grading. And next is Nearpod. It is putting a class together. You can add a PowerPoint. You can share videos for watching. You can add content, add web content, and you can also add activities, and you can have a live class in Nearpod. This is Edpuzzle. It is a tool which enables to work with video clips. You can add a video. In between, you can add some quizzes. So in between the video, there will be quizzes. Students have to answer those quizzes and questions. Only when they answer, the video will continue. So as I told you, for every 15 minutes, engage the students. So this will be very useful for them. So in between your video, you can use quizzes and activities. Next is a classcraft.com. It is a gamifying site. In this, you can give a questions. When the questions are answered, they will get grading and points. Students can even create avatars. So it is a gamification site. Mostly students will prefer this type of gamifications. Next is Coggle. This is used for mind mapping. So any complex things which you want to make it easy, you can use this for creating a mind map. Next is a Easy Class. It is a platform for online digital class. It is similar to Google Classroom, but in Easy Class, you can have your documents in a file. Whereas in Google, you cannot have a separate document or file. Whereas in Easy Class, you can have it. And teachers can have all control in Easy Class. In Easy Class, you have a control. Whereas in Google Meet, we don't have a control. We cannot mute and all these things. But in Easy Class, it is possible for others to control us, close our videos and mute us. Next is a Mentimeter. This is like a quiz, but we can use it for getting feedbacks. So you can create a question, and that can be shared. That link can be shared to others. Once they answer, the answers will be displayed in mobile as well as computer. So this is a useful tool for scaling. You can use it for feedback purposes. And this is renderforest.com. You can use RenderForest for creating online animated PowerPoints and presentation. It is also helpful for creating logos. It is an online video making software. So next is an EduNext. In EduNext, you can create MOOC courses. One full subject can be created in EduNext as a course, and you can give it to students. In this, you can add videos, you can add quizzes, you can add assignments, and you can conduct a test and you can grade the students, and you can issue certificates using EduNext. So it is a MOOC platform. Next is a MindMaster. It is a mind mapping application. As like Coggle, here also you can use it for creating complex, making a complex thing in an easy way. So this is useful for creating mind mapping. So this is videohive.com. You might have seen the while my presentation, there were certain animations which was going behind. So all these animations you can take it from videohive.com. Some video backgrounds are free of cost. You need not pay. You can download it and you can use it. Next is an UX. And this is also used for backgrounds in PowerPoint presentation. So here you have something which are free of cost. You can use it. You need not pay anything for that. So this can be used for PowerPoint presentation. So being a teacher, we don't just teach. We are there to inspire. So at this COVID situation, we are not able to see our students in real time, so we are here to inspire them. So your key content should be inspiring. So it should not alone teach, it should be multimodal, it should engage the student, and it should grab the attention of the student. Once again, I like to thank the management of Hindustan CAS for giving me an opportunity to deliver my webinar. And also, I like to thank Dr. Anuradha for giving me an opportunity. Thank you.
Sir, is it possible to answer any questions from participant side, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Dear participants, any questions?
Yes, ma'am. Can I ask questions?
Please, ma'am.
Good morning, the organizer, madam, and the resource person, Dr. Paul Anthony. Sir, I had been attending so many of the courses during this time, and this session is extremely throwing light upon the various tools that can be used. So nowhere I have come across this kind of a thing. I had attended so many. They all have given ICT tools, how to do that, a general introduction. But you are the only person who has given so many. I have noted down everything, and you are very going very easily in a way that anybody can take notes of it. I have got every point here, and I have a question. First of all, appreciations for that, sir. And I have some questions to you, sir. Now you have given like Google, Easy Class, Edpuzzle, Mentimeter, all those things. And I am trying to use Moodle. I have already used Canvas platform. I have used Google platform for the students to teach during this period. And I have gone up to this Moodle now. My question is that, for example, if I can make a kind of animation behind the PowerPoint that you have given, where we had a animation behind the PPT, can I make PPT slides and put it in a Google slide to have animation? That is question number one, sir. And now you have also given us, like you have a Nearpod where we can include questions in between the video, and the video will be continued only when the students answer. This is a very interactive one which you have given to us. Now I make a small video using this Nearpod. Will I be able to incorporate this into the Moodle platform into it? So that is my question. Is it possible using all the things that you have given? I make small videos, and will I be able to upload it in the Google platform, Moodle platform for the delivery?
Ma'am, it is Edpuzzle. It is not a Nearpod, in which you can create a video with in between gaps. You can also include questions related to the content which you have delivered so far. That is edpuzzle.com. And regarding whether the slides, which animations which you can post it in Google Slide, you have to create it. Whereas this presentation, some animations won't work in Google Slide. Instead of that, the animation which you have created, you can post it in Google Classroom. In Google Classroom itself, you have all the facilities. So students can check it in Google Classroom. Otherwise, you can post it in YouTube and you can give the link to the students. Students can go through that.
Okay, I have to make a separate PowerPoint using all these things and I can post it in YouTube. Is it so, sir?
Yes, ma'am. You can post it in YouTube as a video. Even PowerPoint, you can record. There is a record option. While when the slides are moving, you can start. You can talk and you can teach and you can record it in PowerPoint itself. That you can post it in YouTube.
Google Classroom also we can upload. Is it so,
yes,
sir?
In Google Classroom also you can upload. For recording, another thing you can do is if you're having a Windows, you just click the Windows screen plus G. It will start recording your screen. So at that time you can deliver whatever content you want.
Sir, what is the key, sir? Control G, yes, sir?
Windows screen plus G.
Windows screen plus
G.
So sorry, sir, it is not audible.
Ma'am, Windows plus G. G for game.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. It's a real nice presentation. Thank you.
And afterwards, you can edit that video which you have recorded by using Photo app in Windows.
Okay, sir. Photo app. Okay, fine. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, ma'am.
Any more questions? Any more questions, please?
Hello? Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I'm audible?
Yes, ma'am. You are audible, ma'am. Ma'am, you are audible, ma'am. Mageshwari, ma'am. Please, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, ma'am. I hear you.
Sir, my name is Maheshwari Purushottaman, Assistant Professor from Wales, sir. It's really a very, very informative session because as a teacher, I have so many things, how to develop the e-contents, etc. Now today I can see some more contents which I can make a live and interactive presentation to my students. Really, really wonderful session, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
And my question is regarding, sir, when I'm conducting classes in the Zoom platform, right? The first time, I'm not able to understand the reserves things and all. So I used to keep that annotate, na? That symbol will be there. So automatically what my students were doing is they were scribbling in the PowerPoint presentation, which I were doing. First time, I don't know how to make out all those things. Like these webinars, once I was able to have it, I got some idea and I was doing like this. Is there anything which we can make our students to concentrate more? Because I'm not telling that all the students were like that. There are some few 2 or 3 students which are very naughty. Is there any way in this online presentation, can we identify that?
Ma'am, regarding online teaching, Zoom or Google, we face this difficulties. It is better to go for e-content. You can deliver the e-content to the students and ask him to learn, and afterwards ask him to submit an assignment or quiz. Because mostly students won't be that much engaged in online classes. They are more.
Yes, sir. That I face that problem. Yes.
So my suggestion is not to go for online classes. Instead of online classes, you can give an e-content. After finishing that e-content, ask them to submit some assignment, and you evaluate that assignment. That will be better when compared to online classes. So,
because when we were having some 40 students in the Zoom platform, I'm not telling that all the 40 are naughty. There are 1 or 2 which the whole class is distracted because of that. That is the thing I asked you.
So an example is when Google was doing this Google Meet for the first time, there was a possibility for everyone to remove the other person. Now only it is a removal option is given only for the admin or the organizer. Previously, students, what they do, they will remove the teacher out.
Yeah, because there are some naughty students who will do like these things. That's what I asked you, sir.
Yeah. So usually they won't be interested in live classrooms online, and it is better to give a e-content and ask them to submit assignments. Moreover, many teachers, they face that in live classrooms they were not able to teach properly because there is also disturbance related to internet connections.
Yeah, yes, the internet connectivity problem is a major one we are facing there.
So it is better to go for e-content.
E-content is the best way.
Yeah,
and also giving some assignments.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for your expressive answers, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And I thank to Dr. Anuradha ma'am and the organizers of Hindustan team for giving me the opportunity, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Really, thanks a lot for you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Sir, actually, Mageshwari ma'am is just a second, sir. Actually, Mageshwari ma'am is our intellectual participant, sir.
Okay.
Business person, sir.
Okay.
Actually, she has attended our international webinar, 7 days webinar. She has asked many more questions also. It's a very intellectual participant from our side, sir.
Okay.
Ma'am, just a moment. Can I tell something, ma'am?
Yeah,
Hello?
please, ma'am. Please, ma'am. Please, ma'am.
Actually, to the resource person and Dr. Anuradha ma'am and other organizers and the participants, the session was very, very wonderful. I think the participants will accept this. That is the reason, whatever the question I'm asking frankly, and the resource person also, they are giving me an extraordinary explanation, which I'm very happy, and it makes me interesting to ask me more and more questions, and the session is interactive also. And I think the participants also will feel the same thing which I am feeling. Okay, ma'am. I have to congratulate first to you as well as to the Hindustan team for giving us such an opportunity first. I hope all the participants will have the same feeling what I have. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Any questions, sir? You please proceed, sir. Somebody asked some question. Can you proceed at present? Yes, sir, please.
Yes, ma'am. This is Dr. D.K. Samadia from Jhansi. My question is to sir is what is exactly known as Moodle platform? I have heard Moodle. Can sir elaborate some things about the Moodle?
Sir, I'm not much into Moodle, sir.
Okay. No problem. Okay, sir.
Any questions from participant side? So, thank you. Thank you for your wonderful and excellent presentation, sir. You have done well, sir. Kanna Lakshmi, ma'am, please proceed. Vote of thanks, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Good noon to one and all. I, on behalf of PG and Research Department of Mathematics, Hindustan College of Arts and Science, would like to express my gratitude to our managing trustees, principal, convener Dr. S. Anuradha ma'am, for organizing this 5 days online national FDP. Today is day 3 and session 3. I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to our chief guest, Dr. K. Prince Paul Anthony sir, for his excellent presentation on effective e-content development for the enhancement of teaching and learning. It is highly informative to know about e-content development, grab attention of the students, and grab easy classes, scaling, and all. I hope we will surely follow your ideas to develop e-content for enhancing teaching and learning to inspire the students, sir. Thank you very much, sir. As you said, we are the teachers. We should use these e-content to inspire our students, sir. I would like to thank all the participants for this event. It is your ability that made this day a very memorable one. We had many to learn, to live, and conquer for days to come. Once again, I thank each and every one of the participants and all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, respected sir, for your knowledgeable presentation. Thank you, respected participants. Thank you all. We'll meet tomorrow for the day 4 presentation at 11 o'clock, 11 to 12 noon. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.